I might wish to identify myself as one of the financial supporters of the community who has run into certain obstacles. Managing 8 Tesla figures at once has significantly increased my family's wealth in a short amount of time. We received benefits totaling more than $1 million at one time. We were not alone in this. There was a community of local investors who made similar returns and stuck with it through the peak. When using CO choices, there was a much higher ceiling and you could fast make 600% returns. Some of the items I purchased during the CO plunge had returns of 1,000% or more. The problem is that after I separated them, it developed such a lot of it then. Muchly affected my family's total assets, and as it was so unstable, there were surely terrible times, yet I'd continuously felt it was fine over the long haul, as Tesla had such a lot of interest. And there was such a lot of edge, and FSD could be tackled 1 year from now. And Tesla had another assembling strategy that would essentially bring down pinions with cheaper higher energy thick deals, so nothing remains to be stressed over the long haul. Besides, as we probably are aware, those tentative arrangements are as yet not here yet, alongside requests not quite so high as it used to be. And we're just now at last getting the Cybertruck, and that is simply test the time. These things require 3 years longer, yet they generally arrive in the end, albeit late, and Elon generally says this as well. And he utilizes his counteractant about how he used to be late for the transport at school. So there's more proof that Tesla comes through when we see the digital trucks. So maybe the market will have more confidence in the other things we expect, though maybe late, which it seems to be. The Gen 3 vehicle will likewise reasonable be later than we trusted with the rate that Mexico is taking anyway. A ton of the hyperballs will let you know it will be out early in light of the fact that they're building it in Texas. Yet it sounds likely that this is just a pilot line, yet I get it's still great that they work on building the vehicle or refining the assembling system, however ahead of schedule as could be expected. And maybe the bottleneck may be in the end the batteries as opposed to the vehicle line in Mexico, or perhaps Berlin now, or anything that we just may not be aware. Yet Elon was saying it was because of the economy, yet fundamentally will in any case attempt to get things started at some point 1 year from now. We realize that there is a predictable way of maybe 7 million vehicles per year for Tesla. Elon has only released the first 7 or 8 million models. He hasn't revealed anything about the next 12 million or so. However, it appears that the majority of hyperballs will say robo. From a venture capital perspective, this is a good time to buy Tesla stock. As I have recently observed, the stock price is still around where it was a long time ago. It was somewhat inflated back then because so many 4680 related things haven't gone as planned. But at this point, we don't need to worry about them in order to move on. We just don't know for sure, but maybe that's also why Tesla is waiting for FSD, potentially for the Gen 3. We have some idea of how quickly CATL can build 80-hour-year limit industrial facilities, most likely close to a year or so beyond China, like Texas or Mexico. Genry can use LFP agreements. Therefore, 4680 is needed. It could take significantly longer. Without 4680, that would sort of be the quickest rate Tesla could develop, as the EV and energy business is fundamentally an approach to selling enormous batteries connected to an application. The batteries need to come from someplace in any case. Something with Tesla is that I figure EVs will differ, so after some of the time request will be high, in some cases it'll be low. For anything the reasons, maybe more individuals will move to electric and understand it's an unrivaled drive, or costs will catch a few leap forwards, or gas costs get excessively high, or loan fees get lower, or Tesla begins to promote on the off chance that any of these occasions happen. Tesla is a wager on any of them. So interest for Teslas would rise. And afterward, it wouldn't take a lot of longer for Tesla to make $10,000 benefit per unit sold once more, or conceivably more yet when Tesla make 5 million units a year. Then that is $50 billion benefit simply on EV deals alone. And there will be times when out of the blue Tesla's proportion will be higher, in different times it will be lower, yet undoubtedly somewhere close to 50-80. And this will in general be about the overall vacillation north of a year. So in the event that you can time the $50 billion benefit income with a high PE, then you'd be at a valuation of a couple $1 trillion, conceivably, particularly with all the other things Tesla has making it work. Those profits aren't that troublesome to some degree more than quite a while. The thing is with this venture is test the time. How slow is it truly, on the off chance that you didn't have any idea yet? Presently, even the hyperballs are done anticipating 20 million a year by 2030. I believe they're, for the most part, pushing it back to 2032. Now, yet to me, the main way they might do it by 2032 would in any case be with 4680 plants. And the slope of those is impossible to say still. With high-energy thick deals, there is undeniably more interest. And assuming that the cost really costs less supposedly as per Elon around 30%, not exactly loft deals yet more energy thick than 2170, obviously deciding by these new digital cells, which fundamentally get as much energy thickness as a 2170 cell just without involving silicon in the anode. And on the off chance that Tesla has FSD, which is truly not prepared into the cost however much I thought by Apollo ran, I expected that with the price-earning relationship however high as it could be today that more FSD was estimated in, I surmise, low edges that we hope to return, are maybe heated into, alongside the unavoidable development of Tesla adding another model beside the Subaru, the digital truck being a vehicle that has set the bar a lot of lower in assumption. All things considered with volume creation, targets being pushed back from the finish of the following year to at some point in the next year, there are other different parts of the business that resemble lottery tickets like the bots yet, who realizes Tesla is the leader in the most adaptable and useful bot for your home or business. So if there is a persistent robot bubble, its stock price would greatly benefit from it. Similarly, its stock price may also ride the simulated intelligence bubble. These are other occasions that could continuously make Tesla's stock price rise to perhaps a few $1 trillion because it has a foothold in a particular industry, and it's possible that it will play a significant role in it. For example, it's improbable that many other organizations can secure a sufficient number of cells or batteries to power the bots. If Tesla were to choose to promote 46 people to a level we deem trustworthy, they would also possess the best batteries for the bots in addition to all the innovation from FSD and anything else it learns through artificial intelligence. However, Tesla's primary artificial intelligence wager is Dojo, the framework for preparing neural networks with artificial intelligence. If this system can accomplish what some individuals recommend, the applications could be enormous. But not much of this is estimated in either way. Rational given that it recognizes that benefits should double at lower rates, and that should be comparable to a proportion of 25, which seems like a reasonable price. Long-term investors hope that this will finally happen, that Tesla will have more appeal and lower gear teeth, and that we will see roughly $10,000 in benefits per unit in the future. As I previously mentioned, however, Tesla's interest may increase continuously for a variety of reasons, so I'd say that perhaps only about $50 of the stock cost as of right now is for the non-EV portion of the business, including MEAP packs. I would like to think that this depends on how the organization is viewed by the financial backer. The stock rises or falls, even though there hasn't been any internal change to the organization's operations or the business. Only someone with less invested organization greater than any of us, or perhaps some power over the price of the stock, because the market is still figuring out what Tesla is. Nevertheless, generally speaking, the focus is more on what Tesla can achieve and how quickly. In fact, the company is now working on a number of incredible projects that, when completed, might be valued at billions of dollars. The question is whether Tesla can complete these duties in the upcoming year, 3 years, or 10 years. But it's also important to keep in mind that no one else is in a better position than Tesla. If you believe that robots or self-driving cars will eventually become the norm, then Tesla is leading the way. We just don't know when that day will arrive. Thank you very much for listening. Accept it and give it the go-ahead if it's not too much difficulty.